Hey guys, what's going on? Wanted to do a walkthrough. PC's pretty much finished built. Um, so where I last let you off, I had a full build and pretty much running stock everything. I added some fans to it, um, just the original case, but I was having an issue with that last fan that wasn't running. So now I actually have that fan going. I went out and I got uh, an H100i, which is what I said I was going to pick up before. Found a great deal on it. I think it was like 89 bucks from Newegg, and they shipped it out pretty much in 2 days. I didn't even ask for that extra shipping. So yeah, this is pretty much where we are. Um, so thanks for hanging out. Enjoy. Okay, so here we are. Everything is on. I just turned it off. Everything's working, but it's been working for the past week or so. So I just wanted to make sure everything was good, so I didn't have to send anything back, and we wouldn't have any issues. So yeah, once again, we'll start with the front. Um, so we have the. I had to move the drive bay from the top down to the bottom, just because the hoses and everything were getting a little. It was a little tight, and I didn't have enough room to move the SATA cables and the power cord for the drive, which, by the way, I haven't really used that much. So if you're thinking of doing a build like this and you kind of want to save a little money, you don't really need a drive. If you can find somebody to get you a USB version or take your operating system to a friend or whatever it is, and just put it on USB, load from USB, that'll probably be your best bet. I mean, USB drive will cost you at max. You can probably do like $10. I mean, just something simple, a couple gigs. I think it's like 4 gigs is Windows 8. I could be wrong. Let me know in the comments, and just let everybody else know about that too. But yeah, you don't need a drive. Like I haven't used it yet, so and everything else is pretty much external anyway. So yeah, so yeah, I had to move it down. Um, so that's on the front. Both of these fans are working. One here, one here. I haven't turned it on yet. Um, so yeah, there's that. I got the hard drives, SSD in the back, and then I got a standard up front. OS is running here. I'm running Windows 7 at the moment. Um, so yeah, hard drive, extra stuff in here. Um, the fan pulling up, and then I have the this is a bronze rated power supply, 750 modular, which is actually works out pretty well. So yeah, I haven't had any issues with any of the stuff. I would say out of the stuff that's in this case, what is new, like brand new, are the fans. One, two, three, four. Um, these two guys, which is part of the H100i, and this. I mean, everything else, and the drives, including the case. But my motherboard was refurbished. Power supply was refurbished. Um, these two guys here were refurbished. Tried to save as much money as I could, but still have a decent quality product. So majority of the stuff I went with um, was Corsair, and I've heard good things about Corsair and how they take care of their products and whatnot. So and with the motherboard, I picked up a warranty through Micro Center. So if anything happened with that, then I can take it back. Anything fries on it. Same thing with my chip. Picked up a warranty with that too. But everything else is pretty much it was refurbed as was, or as is, I guess it is. It took me about 6 months to build everything to get everything shipped, and just kind of hung out for a little bit. And then once I picked everything up, I put it together. So yeah, cables are running through the back. This is a 750 Ti gigabyte version. Um, Pretty quiet, but from what I'm told, you can overclock it. I'll probably do that at another point, um, just because I don't have a monitor that can run a 1080p yet. I'm using my TV. You can see this guy right here. Um, so yeah, and let me show you the H100i. So here we are. You can see it pretty well. Um, so that's the block. Behind this is a 8320 FX AMD 8320 at I overclocked it. I think it's a 4.6 gigs, um, which is yeah. So it originally comes stock with 3.5 and then boosts up to 4. I have it at a steady 4.6 with no issue at all. Cooling and everything in this bad boy is at idle. I'm at 12C. At max, I've pushed up to 41, but that's pushing like Titanfall at its highest setting and streaming at the same time. And I'm gonna use this as a plug, but yeah, yeah. So streaming at the same time, all that streaming to Twitch. You can find me Captaz. Yeah, I just did that. I'm gonna do it again later on. Haha. So yeah, that's that. I can't see it very well here, but this is the SATA port. And then there's the power for the drive. This is in the way if you decide that you want to put this up here. So I had to drop it down to the lower bay just for this guy. I mean, I guess in theory you can move it to the back and rotate this, but looking at the at people's builds where they have the cord all in front of the fan and the pumping and all that, that kind of, to me, that's counterintuitive. I mean, doesn't that block up airflow? Like, wouldn't you want it as smooth as possible? And I feel it right in front of the fan doesn't really. I don't know. I could be wrong. Let me know in the comments down below. So yeah, that's that. Putting this bad boy in now. I have two low-profile RAM sticks. That is the Corsair Vengeance low-profile 4 gig sticks. Um, you can't do anything else with that. Like, you have to have the low profiles on it. Any type of heatsink or anything like that is not going to fit. Just heads up. So yeah, I mean, I guess you can go to the H100i if you wanted to, if you had that or whatever the case is for this case, which is the Corsair Spec-02. You have to have the low profile RAM. Because there is barely enough room for me to stick the it's not touching, but any of these cables to do any of this cable management, like this cable right here is tight. Like, this is the fan cord and it's not that thick, but it's thick enough that it just barely fits. You can still slide it in between it, but it just barely fits in there. There was also a option to, I was told to do a pole config with the fans. Couldn't do a pole just because I'm a noob when it comes to building these things, and B, because yeah, it's that's what I needed. Actually, you probably, like, in order to put these guys in and to run the cables and everything else, I had to put the fans in by themselves, like at different times. You couldn't really bolt both of those fans in, so you had to put the radiator in, run the cables, and then put one fan in, run the cables, and then put another fan in, and then that's there. So yeah, I think that I touched on everything else. Yeah, I mean, it fits, it works, it's tight, but it's in here. It does its job. It's cool. Um, Once again, I went heavy with the fans just because I didn't know what I was gonna do, and how things were gonna work out. So I want to make sure that I have as much airflow going through this bad boy as possible. I'm thinking that if I go with another hard drive, probably gonna have to change that fan to a static pressure, just to push through them. But I'm thinking that I still get some good air. Um, so yeah, that's the bad boy, and we can show a little. This is what we are. This is what the motherboard is. This is revision 1, I think it is. Um, so yeah, you can do it with the Corsair Spec-02, Spec-1, and Spec-3 cases, aka the Bane case. Um, you can do it with those cases, but just keep in mind that it's gonna get a little tight, and you have to get the low profile RAM. But everything else runs pretty well. I will switch over and show you, just do a little snapshot of what my stock temps are and with my voltage and whatnot and all that good stuff to like what I've been able to bump it up to with this Corsair Spec. And yeah, and then you see the pictures of how everything runs with it. But it's quiet, it ramps up. Um, yeah, it's quiet and it does its job, so I'm happy with it. Also, the Corsair Link, the Link software that comes with this guy that you download from their website, I have not yet been able to figure that out. I've heard there were some hacks or stuff that you have to do in order to change the light. The light only pushes the white. I can't change the color on this guy, so it only comes out white. But I mean, yeah, that's the brightest thing in my case. So yeah, fun times. Enjoy. Thanks for watching. Do a little follow, subscribe, check me out on Facebook, and check me out on Twitter at cap underscore Taz. Um, and then check me out on the Twitch channel. Come out, hang out, watch some games, play some games. All right. Talk to you later. Thanks for hanging. Bye.